Thousands gather at Fort Hood in Texas to pay their respects to the troops who lost their lives in the shooting on Thursday.
Talks of contract negotiations and a potential strike for Fry's and Safeway employees could be reaching a boiling point.
Plus, a neo-Nazi protest at the Capitol this past weekend has stirred up some hateful feelings.
Cronkite News Watch starts right now.
A memorial service today at Fort Hood to remember the people who lost their lives. Good evening and thank you for choosing us. I'm Kristen Keogh.
And I'm David Gonzalez. President Obama was present at the memorial service today in Texas. Cronkite News reporter Maxine Park has the details. Maxine?
David, thousands of people gathered today at Fort Hood in Texas to pay tribute to the 13 men and women who lost their lives in a mass shooting at the base almost 1 week ago. President Obama joined top U.S. generals and commanders in leading the memorial service to honor the soldiers that died at Fort Hood. Boots, helmets, and rifles were placed beside photographs of the fallen as speeches were given in memory. President Obama took the stage and reminded Americans that what happened at Fort Hood will not go in vain.
These Americans did not die on a foreign field of battle. They were killed here, on American soil.
While those in the crowd stood watch over the pictures of the fallen, Lieutenant General Robert Cohn, commander at the base, reflected on the lives of those lost.
No words can ever fully address your grief and sadness, but it is important to know that you are not alone.
Now, Major Nadal Malik Hassan, the suspected gunman in all of this, was removed from his ventilator over the weekend and has asked for a lawyer. No charges have been filed yet, but investigators say it does seem that Hassan acted alone and was not part of a broader terrorist plot. Maxine Park, Cronkite News.
The Phoenix Police Department today honored their officers who are also veterans of the armed forces, many of whom are still active military reserve. Mayor Phil Gordon, Public Safety Manager Jack Harris, and many others came together to show their appreciation to those who serve our country, honoring some and remembering others that lost their lives in the line of duty. At the center of the celebration was fallen officer veteran Thomas Rabjon, whose wife attended in his honor.
I just miss that connection with him and knowing that he will never walk through that door again. It's very tough, very tough. He hasn't walked through that door.
Nikki Rabjon was given an engraved plaque in honor of her husband.
Veterans Day is meant to be a time of reflection and remembrance, honoring those who fought for our country. Reporter Leah Langstaff spoke to a man who said the best way to spend the day is by saying thank you.
Jimmy Furlow knows firsthand the importance of recognizing those who fight for our freedom.
Last week I was in Vietnam. I stepped on a landmine and then I lost both of my legs.
As the veteran goes around the room helping students, it doesn't take long to see Furlow has taken his experience in the war and turned that into a teaching tool.
All right, take all your chairs, put them under the desk.
The history teacher helps his kids understand what it means to be a veteran. Mr. Furlow has been teaching here at Hendricks Junior High School in Mesa for the past 18 years. Shamri Aiden is a 9th grader active in junior ROTC and says the experience of having a vet for a teacher is inspiring.
He's gone through experiences, so he actually knows what he's talking about. Not just reading it from a plan, he's actually given stories of what happens.
When soldiers returned home from Vietnam after defending our flag, Furlow said that they faced more criticism than praise.
People would slam doors on you even when I was using my artificial legs and I got knocked down a couple of times.
Furlow has worked through those difficult years and since then has received numerous teaching awards, including being honored as one of USA Today's top 10 teachers in 1998. He says that on Veterans Day, he hopes people take the time to realize it's not just a day off of work and school.
You have to think about what it means to be a veteran.
He says that the best part of this kind of civil service is meeting so many kids and positively impacting their lives. In Mesa, Leah Langstaff, Cronkite News.
If you want to get out and show your support this Veterans Day, Phoenix is holding its annual Veterans Day Parade downtown on Wednesday morning, beginning at 11.
The clock is ticking. If Fry's and Safeway don't reach some type of agreement by this Friday, the union could call a strike. And as Cronkite News reporter Samara Link tells us, even the employees in the union can't seem to find even ground.
Over 24,000 Fry's and Safeway employees could be walking the picket lines instead of helping you buy your weekend groceries. But many of them don't want to strike.
Now it's not the time.
And they made their feelings heard outside union headquarters.
But while I'm standing here, people are being hired for my job.
Leonia Melton says the union needs to remember they work for the employees.
Fry's is offering us a good deal.
At the center of the dispute, health care and how much employees should have to pay for it. Right now, it's nothing, but Fry's and Safeway want to start charging employees between $5 and $15 a week. The union doesn't think that's fair, and they voted to strike. But that's not sitting well with some who say they can't take a chance on possibly losing their insurance altogether.
I have a daughter that has cancer, and I cannot go without health benefits, not even for a month.
People on both sides of the line say they want to keep their job and they want to keep their health care, but how to go about it in a fair way seems to be in question.
The people have already spoken. This is what they want. There's a few that aren't understanding it, but we're just going to continue to fight for it because the majority already wants to fight.
But there's a lot of disagreement within the union about whether or not there should even be talk of a strike.
Let us re-vote. Let us say what we want.
The workers say the vote held in September authorizing the strike was done improperly and didn't include enough employee representation. Now it's up to the union to strike a deal that will keep these workers working.
I talked to a man at the rally yesterday whose wife is a Fry's employee. He says he's read the paperwork for both sides, and he thinks they're both right. Fry's has already advertised for temporary workers in case the strike happens this Friday evening. I'm Samara Link, Cronkite News.
Well, there is also another sort of protest in the Valley.
But this time it involved a group of neo-Nazis who said they were marching against illegal immigration. Cronkite News reporter Toby Phillips joins us from the assignment desk.
But Toby, there's more to this story than just immigration, right?
Yeah, that's right. The members of the National Socialist Movement said that they were marching at the Capitol this weekend to protest illegal immigration. But there are many who say that immigration is just a cover for feelings that run much deeper.
The beat of a drum leads the way as members of the National Socialist Movement descend on the state capitol. Protesters held at bay by horses and lines of police.
The NSM here behind me says they are here to promote a white America and say that they are just against illegal immigration, while all the other groups here say they are here just to promote hate.
The level of hate right now in Arizona is very high.
Bill Strauss with the Anti-Defamation League says that the NSM is a hate group and that others like it are spreading across Arizona.
The border issues have brought a lot of attention to Arizona, particularly from white supremacists, racists. I mean, let's face it, this is where the business is.
Hate groups have become so prevalent in Arizona that the ADL has a regional office devoted solely to our state.
The targets are usually African Americans or Jews. Most recently, the Hispanic community.
According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, which tracks hate groups, there are currently 19 known groups in the state, and NSM is just one. Again, they say they march against illegal immigration. Their website says that all non-white immigration should be stopped, illegal or not.
We're not a hate group. We're a white civil rights organization. The swastika is a symbol of white people.
A symbol that NSM flew proudly at the Capitol. But the symbols were denounced by other demonstrators.
We're out here saying we don't want swastikas flying at our state capitol. We don't want that in our community.
A community that continues to battle to find a space for everyone.
Now, NSM says they are planning more marches around the country. And if you would like to track hate groups in Arizona or learn more about them, you can visit the Southern Poverty Law Center's website at splcenter.org. I'm live at the assignment desk tonight. Toby Phillips, Cronkite News.
Coming up on Cronkite News Watch, several Valley organizations are giving residents a chance to lower their energy bills. We'll tell you which ones are doing it and what they're offering.
I'm Heather Turner, and coming up on Cronkite News, we'll tell you about new security measures at Sky Harbor Airport that will help ensure that your bag is safe.
Hello, I'm Ruben Veloz, and this is tonight's World Watch. A car bombing in northwestern Pakistan has killed more than 20 people and injured up to 50 others. The blast happened at a busy traffic intersection in the center of the town. Buildings surrounding the area were severely damaged, and nobody has claimed responsibility. Police have not confirmed whether it was a suicide bombing. And hundreds of people in England paid tribute to 6 soldiers who died in Afghanistan. 5 of those soldiers were shot to death by an Afghan police officer who turned against them. The deaths have sparked a sense of betrayal for those in Britain because they have helped train these Afghan forces. And suspicious white powder has struck again. This time it was at the offices of the United Nations. The powder was sent in 3 separate envelopes to the offices of the French, Austrian, and Uzbekistan missions. 43 people were contaminated, but nobody was hospitalized. Preliminary lab results reveal that the powder is not likely to be dangerous. And that's it for tonight's World Watch. Ruben Veloz, Cronkite News.
We are on the eve of Greenbuild, one of the largest sustainability conferences in the world. It kicks off tomorrow, but today, APS and Solar City were already thinking green. Mike Pelton joins us now with a chance for Valley residents to really lower their monthly power bill. Mike?
David, solar panels. Now, that could be the answer for 1,000 of you if you're trying to lower some of your bills. Now, Solar City is leasing 1,000 solar panels to APS customers with no upfront costs. So you have a chance to not only go green, but save a little as well. The program kicked off today, and officials say the 1,000 panels will save more than $40 million on electricity. They say that's the equivalent of taking 80 million pounds of carbon dioxide out of the air. Mayor Gordon is urging residents to take advantage of the program, saying it'll help just about anyone.
We're talking about leasing the equipment that will help provide utilities that every home needs and that everyone pays monthly.
Now, while you don't have to worry about any initial costs, you still have to pay the monthly lease, which officials say once it's added up is about $170. For more information, go to their website at solarphoenix.org. Live in Phoenix, Mike Pelton, Cronkite News.
Meantime, reporter Liz Rowe hopped aboard a bus designed to help business leaders learn about using the sun to go green and even make some green themselves.
Dozens of people hitched a ride on the solar bus to find out what their companies can do to make a difference.
We wanted to see both the advancement in technology as well as what was on the horizon.
Vice President of Diamond Ventures Developers in Tucson, Priscilla Storm, had one question she hoped to find the answer to on the solar bus tour.
How we can integrate solar into our development projects.
And she wasn't the only one. Business leaders from all over Arizona participated in the 4-stop tour, which gave them the opportunity to check out the green technology behind places such as the Phoenix Convention Center and Sterling Energy Solar Plant. Chris Mays helped to organize the tour.
Because we thought it would be a great idea to get business leaders, community leaders, civic leaders together to go around and start looking at some of the solar installations and projects that are cropping up all over the valley.
Priscilla said while she enjoyed the stops, her favorite part of the tour was the conversations on the bus.
You really get to see government and nonprofits and academia and private sector all talking about what can we do to make Arizona the solar state,
which she hopes will help to spark more interest in the community.
I think we need to understand how to make it more affordable and how to make it available to everybody from the consumer all the way up to the large corporations.
It's my hope that when we fly into Sky Harbor International Airport, we see more solar panels on rooftops than swimming pools in backyards.
With initiatives like the solar bus tour becoming more and more popular, their dreams might not be too far in the distant future. In Phoenix, Liz Rowe, Cronkite News.
If you'd like more information about building green businesses or the Greenbuild Expo, you can go to greenbuildexpo.org.
Sky Harbor Airport is increasing security after 2 suspects were accused of stealing almost 1,000 pieces of luggage from baggage claim. Cronkite News reporter Heather Turner went to the airport today to find out more about new security measures. She's now live in the newsroom. Heather?
David, the airport officials told me today they found a temporary solution in hopes of making sure travelers go home with their own luggage. You'll recall last week, police arrested Keith and Stacy King for allegedly stealing almost 1,000 pieces of luggage, enough to fill up this large rental truck. Investigators found piles of clothes, cameras, laptops, and other personal items inside the couple's Waddell home. To make sure this doesn't happen again, airport officials have increased police and security patrols in the baggage claim area. There's also increased video surveillance and announcements asking travelers to have their claim check or photo ID ready. Airline employees are also going around checking claim tags with photo IDs.
For now, we have these random checks in place, so everybody is subject to being screened at any time. You may be screened, or you may see somebody near you being screened. The important thing is to be ready, have your ID or your claim check ready.
The spokeswoman says there's no additional cost for this temporary solution. Airport officials say they're still discussing a more permanent fix. Live in the newsroom, Heather Turner, Cronkite News.
Coming up on Cronkite News Watch.
Now, this tree behind me is dozens of years old, but hundreds of people have gathered to watch it get cut down. Coming up, I'll tell you why.
2 cold fronts are coming this way. I'll tell you just how low temperatures will go coming up.